At 7:42, he said, "You're done. No warning. No cause." By 10 o'clock, legal read my IP clause. The product was mine. He fired me to steal it. I walked out smiling. Want to know how it flipped? I arrived at the office before 8. I grabbed coffee. I opened the sprint board. My calendar showed the 10 o'clock legal sync for handoff terms. Routine. My manager, Derek, walked past without a hello. He stared at the roadmap printout on my desk. His jaw tightened. For a year, I led the product. I wrote the specs. I managed vendors. I filed tickets at 2 a.m. when staging broke. The prototype ran on my personal stack before the company greenlit budget. During the last funding round, HR issued new paperwork. I signed the employment agreement and the inventions assignment addendum with a side letter. The side letter listed my pre-hire modules and the license terms if the company shipped features based on them. It also set a trigger. Any termination without cause before launch forced a license buyout or a full stop. No one mentioned that addendum again. I archived the PDF and kept building. At 7:42, Derek called me to the hallway. No witnesses, no warning. "You're done," he said. He reached out his hand. Laptop, repos, and keys. I looked at the wall clock, then at him. "Not without legal," I said. He frowned. "Now." I powered the laptop down and walked to my desk. I packed my notebook. I left the laptop in plain view. I did not touch a single repo. What happens when a trigger clause meets a rushed firing before launch? Derek hovered near my desk, pretending to chat with IT. He wanted the repos. He wanted my keys. He wanted the product before anyone asked questions. I opened nothing. I touched nothing. I logged out of Slack on my phone and set it on airplane mode. I sent one email from my personal address to legal, subject line, 10 a.m. IP addendum, 2 lines only. Arriving with side letter and pre-hire module list. Termination stated at 7:42 without cause. HR called my cell from a blocked number. "We need your laptop now," I said, happy to return company property to legal at 10 a.m. as scheduled. Silence. Then, "Please wait in the lobby." I said, "I will be in the lobby at 9:50. At 8:30, Derek tried friendly. "No hard feelings. Quick handoff so the team is not blocked," I smiled. "No access changes until legal reviews my addendum." His eyes flicked. He had forgotten the addendum existed. I printed 3 things at the copy room. The employment agreement, the inventions assignment, the side letter with my pre-hire modules listed by hash and date. I added a 1-page index with times, 7:42 termination, 9:50 lobby, 10 o'clock legal. I stapled copies and slid them into a plain folder. At 9:48, I walked to the lobby. I carried only the folder. The laptop stayed powered down on my desk where HR could see it on camera. What breaks first at 10 o'clock? A rushed firing or a signed clause with dates and hashes? At 9:58, I sat outside the conference room. Glass walls, long table. Legal walked in first. 2 counsels, then HR Derek slid in last. He did not look at me. At 10 o'clock, the senior counsel nodded. "State your understanding." I placed my folder on the table. Employment agreement, inventions assignment, side letter, pre-hire modules listed by hash and date. Termination stated at 7:42 without cause. Launch not complete. She skimmed the side letter. Her eyes stopped on the trigger paragraph. "This sets a license purchase or a full stop until new terms are signed. Who approved this?" "Your office," I said. "After the last funding round?" HR spoke. "We need her laptop and repo access now." Counsel raised a hand. "No access changes until we resolve ownership." "Any access forced today risks breach." Derek leaned forward. "We built on company time." I turned a page. Core modules predate hire. See hashes and timestamps. The company holds a license once launch completes and bonus posts. Termination without cause before launch triggers a buyout or stops silence. The junior counsel checked the hashes against a printout. These match our archive. Senior counsel closed the folder. We halt the release. We draft purchase terms. HR, collect property after we agree on scope. Do not touch repos. Until then, Derek stared at the wall clock. 10:11. His plan was already slipping. What comes next when legal freezes a launch and the manager needs a product by noon? The meeting ended. Legal kept my folder. I walked to the lobby. Derek peeled off to IT. He spoke fast. He wanted my access revoked and the repos mirrored. I sat on a low chair near the window and watched him through the glass. He pointed, he paced, he checked his watch. 10:24. HR approached with a form. Company property. After scope is agreed, I said. Per legal at 10:11. She hesitated, then left. At 10:32, the CTO arrived. Calm, unreadable. He stepped into legal. 5 minutes later, he stepped out. He nodded to me once. No words. He walked to engineering and told the team to pause the deploy. Screens froze across the floor. Slack pinged. Code freeze. Await legal. The building quieted. You could feel it. The product had stopped breathing. Derek tried a new angle. You are blocking launch. Clients expect this build at noon. I kept my voice even. The trigger exists. You fired me before launch. You forced the stop. His jaw flexed. He looked past me toward the elevators. At 10:58, my phone buzzed. Email from legal. We propose license purchase of pre-hire modules. Meet at 11:30. Bring banking instructions. 2 more lines. HR to collect laptop after signing. No access changes until then. I closed my eyes for a moment. The floor noise faded. I thought of the nights I wrote those modules in my apartment. I thought of the sprint boards and the 2 a.m. hotfixes. The value was clear now, on paper, in a clause, in a clock. I stood and walked back to the conference room. What price do they put on work they tried to grab for free? At 11:28, I sat down across from legal. The senior counsel slid a draft across the table. License purchase for your pre-hire modules. Scope listed by hash, one-time fee, release of claims, mutual non-disparagement, transfer of updated tests after payment. She paused. Standard. I read it, clean, precise, missing one thing. Attribution, I said. Internal doc set must note origin and license. No public credit needed. Internal truth only. She nodded and wrote it in. Derek arrived late. He did not speak. The CTO joined, calm as before. Numbers came next. Their first offer was polite but light. I pointed to usage, core feature, launch blocker, support exposure if they rewrote it fast. I named a number tied to the quarter's projected revenue for that feature set, not a threat, a ratio. Counsel conferred with the CTO. He gave a tight nod. They countered near my ratio. Fair. We added details. Payment on wire today. My transfer of updated tests at confirmation. Access to my old repos closed only after payment. My laptop returned the same hour to HR with a receipt. No claims on my unrelated personal libraries. No solicitation limits on future clients. Clear. I initialed changes. The CTO signed. The senior counsel signed. Derek stared at the table like it might open. At 11:57, my phone buzzed. Incoming wire. I showed the confirmation. The room exhaled. I slid a drive across the table. Updated tests, build scripts, and notes. The CTO took it. Thank you, he said. Simple, respectful. I stood. We are square. No anger, no gloat. Just balance. What happens when a manager loses the product, the leverage, and the room? By noon, the floor was quiet. Deploy stayed frozen until the CTO finished intake. HR met me in the lobby with a receipt. I handed over the laptop. No drama, no scene. Derek avoided my eyes. He knew what happened. He tried to grab leverage. The clause took it back. Legal moved the launch window. Engineering merged my tests. The product lived. Cleanly, properly. At 12:40, the CTO passed me in the hall. Good work protecting your rights, he said. Short, professional. It mattered. My phone buzzed all afternoon. A few teammates sent short messages. Proud of you. Smart move. Coffee soon. I answered each with one line. No gossip. No heat. That evening, I opened the final PDF license purchased. Attribution noted in the internal document. Wire confirmed. Access closed as agreed. No claims on my personal libraries. Clear. I looked at the wall clock. Same one I watched at 7:42. Time felt different now. Not heavy. Balanced. I slept through the night. What is the lesson when a rushed firing meets a signed trigger you prepared months earlier? Preparation beats panic. I did not yell. I did not bargain. I followed the paper. The clause I negotiated on a quiet day protected the work I built on many late nights. Write your terms when you are calm. Save your proofs. Hash your files. Keep your side letters. One line in a contract can stop a bad decision and turn it into a fair deal. If someone rushes you, slow the room. Ask for legal. State the timeline. Put the facts on the table. Let the signatures do the work. Respect is not a favor. It is a record. If this helped you, subscribe to Revenge Rewind. You will hear more true stories of workplace revenge, neighbor karma, and betrayal made right. New episodes each week. Share your story in the comments. I might feature it next.